When I first announced my run for Congress, I had this random white woman, liberal, walk up to me and ask, well, what about you isn't Democrat? To which I responded, well, besides my skin color, what about me is Democrat? And it was at that very moment that she realized that God gave her enough common sense to ask me about my values. Now, don't get me wrong, I was raised to vote Democrat down the ballot, so when I first started, I would say things like, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a conservative. But now I know all too well I am a full-fledged, hardcore conservative, and I'm proud of it. I mean, my favorite saying is I was born black, not Democrat. But in all seriousness, whenever I began to think for myself politically, the choice was easy. I mean, why would I want to belong to a party whose mission is to infringe on the Second Amendment as if a criminal would ever participate in something like a mandatory buyback? Why would I want to belong to and endorse a godless party? Because there is no such thing, and I mean no such thing as a trans child. We have confused children and sick enabling adults. Why would I want to belong to a party that takes pride in shedding innocent blood? Number one, as if that's not what God hates. Number two, as if there's not a black market for baby organs. And number three, as if abortion clinics didn't start in the hood.
Black people waking up. Black people are waking up. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican? He's the one that abolished slavery. Look, I can't tell you a whole bunch of history. I'm not a historian, but I know just doing a little bit of research that the black people after the slaves, after they were free, they became Republicans because Republicans is all about capitalism and making money. I always feel like this. If you don't have money, you want to be a Democrat because they're going to shovel you and give you money just as long as you vote for them. If you have money, you're going to be a Republican. But it goes more than money. If you look at the Democrats, they don't care about black people. They've always said they've been around, they want to do things for black people, but what they want to do is control you by giving you things. But they're not giving you education. They're not giving you ways to push yourself forward. What has Democrats done for black people to push black people forward? Yes, they gave us Section 8. Yes, they put the ability to do SNAP benefits, but all that is controlling us. Because once they can take it away and give it back to you. They always wanted to be in control of the black man, just like with the civil rights movement. They were a part of that because that was the move. But they wanted to be in control of that. They wanted to be in control of our leaders and tell them exactly what you can say. So do you really think that the Democrats is for black people? I don't. The one thing I don't like about the Democrats is they say they're for black people, but what have they done for black people? That's a question that you got to ask yourself. What has the Democrats done specifically for black people? When you look at these different agendas, LGBTQ, when you look at the immigration, they try to bring black people in. Civil rights, they try to bring black people in because black people, we are the culture. So they need us so we can push it to get things through. But then when you get these policies, you're looking at it and says, where's it at for the black people? Where's it at for the black people? We had the things with the Asians. They were able to get a thing that if they got killed, that's a federal crime. What about black people? There's nothing that says that if black people get killed, that's a federal crime. That's considered a hate crime. So how do you say that you're for black people, but do nothing for black people? And then now you say that the black jobs that were before are now immigrant jobs. We're being replaced. We were being replaced by the party that said that they are for us. Oh, we got a black president. You should be happy. That did nothing for it. What did Obama do for black people? Obama's making a lot of money, but crabs in the barrel. It can only be one. It can only be one at the top. But what did Obama put into place for us to move forward ahead of the other races? Nothing. Obama didn't do anything for black people. I'm sorry to say. I just feel like he got rich. His family got rich. Well, did we get better? He protected the immigrants. Well, he took away the immigrants, but he still was in favor of them and the LGBTQ community. But he didn't do anything specifically for black people that we can hang our hat on and say, man, he took care of us. He didn't give us no grants. He didn't give us no education things. What did he do for us? Oh, yeah, but we got SNAP. We got a house. Yeah, that's to control our people. That's to say, well, if you don't do this, if you don't fall in line, if you don't vote for us, we'll take it away from you. But that's why I don't like the Democrats. Why aren't you guys protecting our kids, putting policies in place to protect our kids? I'm all about protecting women and protecting kids. But what have they done to do either one? They're protecting other communities, but they're not keeping it simple. So if you think about it and you just sit here and just say, I got common sense, I don't know about the history, I don't know about this, but if your values is protecting the kids, protecting women, and protecting the religion of Christianity, and knowing that there is a God, that there's only one God, why would you vote Democrat? It makes no sense.
Because if you think Trump is bad, you should research exactly who Margaret Sanger was. But speaking of the black community, why would I want to belong to a party who's responsible for the foundation of the Triple K? But it's not just that. Supposedly in the 1900s, the party switched, right? But what never changed, what I noticed never changed, is Democrats' love for immigration and how they have always prioritized that over the black community. I mean, imagine every single Democrat leader helping you joke about what a black job is in 2024, exposing your ignorance on 1924 and how imperative the Immigration Act of that year was, how it was all reversed in 1965 with the Hart-Celler Act, how Congress refuses the advice of the Rockefeller Commission and the Hesburgh Commission, and how to this day they refuse to adopt the Barbara Jordan Blueprint, validating every single thing that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke of generally, but specifically what Mrs. King spoke of in 1991 with her letter to Congress. Now look, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is perfect. No, nobody's perfect. What I'm saying is I saw with Malcolm X when he said that the liberals were the worst thing that could ever happen to the Western Hemisphere, but y'all ignore that, just like how y'all ignore LBJ saying, and I quote, I'm going to have Negroes voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and by God, 60 years later, I see no sign of recourse, but rest assured your vote is your voice, even if it is a whisper.
The crazy thing you have to understand is when we are looking at these things and you see that about the Democrats, and like you said, LBJ did say that I'm gonna have black people voting for Democrats for the next 200 years. Yes, because what they did was they removed the black father out the household, the crack epidemic, all of that. But they removed the black father out the household by replacing him by having the government give these single moms money and food. That was part of the Democrats' plan, was to remove the black father, remove nuclear families. So once that happened, now we are in control of the black race, because now we're in control of the women that are raising these kids. Now these women are raising these kids with no man around. Masculinity is gone. Now it's nothing but femininity. So what happens to the kids? Now we got to protect those kids because now they're going to be a part of our agenda with the LGBTQ community. But now we got to protect them because they're going to be voting for us. So now we got to make sure they straight. So it's never been about black people. It's been about dividing the black people, becoming the black people's father, and forcing black people to vote for them. But what's been happening is black people are getting smart. Black people are saying, no, we're not doing that. So this is why they pivot to the immigrants. This is why they said, now we're going to focus on the immigrants because now we're going to be giving them all the benefits that black people were receiving. We're going to give it to them. And then when they get it and they become in a country, they can be able to vote and they'll vote for us. So can't you see that the Democrats will control and use money as a power of controlling whoever they're trying to get to be able to vote for them? But they're not doing nothing for you. When you are on these benefits and everything, you become lackluster. You become dependent on that, and that's what they want. They want to be your daddy. They want to be your father because they want to control you. They don't want you to have a voice. So when you are giving somebody money over and over and over again, do you think they're going to say no to you? Do you think they're going to not vote for you? Why do you think we have this immigrant crisis coming on in America? Because we open up our doors. Why? For votes. The Republicans didn't open up the doors. The Democrats did. So when that happened, what happens? You're giving them all the money. So who are they going to vote for? Democrats.